Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of In Moderation. So last episode we have built ourselves this wonderful little whimsical starter home here, and today we have quite a bit things to do today. I am wanting to get a storage system up and running because, well, I'll be honest, I don't like looking through chests. It's very annoying. I'm not a fan of it. I think that unless if I have an entire redstone storage system, everything's going to be in shulkers and it's going to be a chest monster for the entirety of the series, and I don't want that. So our main goal today is to get a storage lectern, but we have a lot of things to do before we get there. Before we start, however, I have all these codex entries from last time when I was trying to find the azurine for the roof of our building here. So I say let's see what we get, because if we can get something like Amplify, that would be really, really good. So we got Ignite. Ignite is very good. That's a really good offensive one. Pull is pretty alright. Craft, ooh, that's actually going to be very useful. Okay, we got a Filter. We got Cut. Windburst, okay. I have not played around with Windburst yet, but I'm going to assume it's like the wind bowls, or whatever whatever they're called, the things that the breeze drop. And non-fiery filter. Okay, so we didn't get Amplify. However, I think Craft is actually a really good one, because Craft allows us to basically have a portable crafting table at all times. I'm assuming you just have to do that and create. And now, yes! Okay, so that is going to be extremely, extremely helpful. And then we can just go back to Illuminate or Break like that. I never actually named a Break, now did I? Probably because I wanted to make all them, like, make them all, like, distinct actual spell names. But I'll be honest, I can't be bothered with doing that right now. So, yeah. That's actually going to be extremely useful, though. Having a portable crafting table on us at all times is going to be extremely helpful. Now, there is one other thing, though, that we need to discuss. And that is, what are my long-term goals with this series of In Moderation Ars Technica? Well, the way that I view this is that this is going to be a series where it's going to be added onto constantly as we go on. I'm thinking that it's going to be a seasonal series where every season adds a new mod. And with that going to be the case, we have to find an endpoint for these mods, though, for the Ars Technica season. And, well, I think I have decided what our end goals are going to be. First one is pretty standard, going to beat the Ender Dragon, Wither, and the Wilden Beast, which is the main boss of Ars Nouveau. I wanted to beat all of these because I've never beaten the Wilden specifically without the assistance of like more gear, because like I fought it on like all the mods 10 before, but like all the mods 10 I already had like vibranium armor by the time that I had to fight one of these things. Like it's not hard to beat one of these and like almost 3-shot it. And then beat a trial chamber. I have never gone into a trial chamber, and they've been out for over a year now. And I'm wanting all that sweet, 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 sweet copper. And I would be really inclined to try and get a mace, because a mace sounds actually really fun to have. Then there is the Technomancer armor set. The Technomancer armor set is the pinnacle of the Ars Technica mod in here. This allows us, this is basically the netherite version of the Ars armor, but it is basically a better version of it. And if I also remember, I think, do we have Ars Elemental in here? I think we do. We do, and that means we have all these armor sets as well. I kind of want to get every single armor set, but the main goal is definitely going to be the Techno armor set, as that is the entire purpose of the series, the way that we combine both Create and Ars together. And we also have Make Tons of Farms. Now, when I say farms, I mean everything. I don't mean just like a casual little farm here that we have right now. Actually, the Mage Bloom seeds have... Oh, yes, let's go. Give me another one. Ah, dang. Okay, but Mage Bloom, yay. I don't mean just like a farm like that. I'm talking like your iron farms, all your create contraptions, a smeltery, stuff like that. I'm wanting like my entire area here to be covered in buildings that have all unique and different purposes, except farms. farms, I want to keep them in the spawn chunks because, as I said at the beginning of this series, spawn is going to be important because it is going to be one of the only areas that are going to be chunk loaded other than where I am right now. And we are a fair bit of distance from spawn. I think we're like around 400 blocks away from spawn. I could be entirely wrong, maybe more like 500. But either way, we are a quite distance away from spawn. Another thing I want to do is create an entire train railroad network. Because as much as I love the idea of having teleportation everywhere, I'll be honest, like it kind of gets boring. Like having to teleport everywhere just to find everything. It's just like why even bother doing a lot of the hard stuff anyway? Like and I have found out these warp nexuses are kind of useless to me because I have to have like some sort of warp scroll I think in here. I don't know how to really use them yet, if I'm being completely honest. But I am very curious to see how they progress and stuff like that. See if we can get any sort of teleportation with these nexuses. But again, I don't want to have like the ability to teleport everywhere and just be bored. So I want to create a train network that allows me to get everywhere I want whenever I want. But that is all major long-term goals. And me and my parrot here, we have some short-term goals, like things that we want to get done by the end of this episode. So, what do we want to get done by the end of this episode? Well, I want to have my first mining session. It's already episode 3 and we have not even gone mining yet. I mean, count other than if you count like the mining on the mountains and stuff for iron and coal and stuff like that. But like I have not delved deep into the earth yet and gone and get like gold or diamonds or redstone. I have no redstone, which is kind of a big deal because there's the nature compass in this, and the compass requires redstone, and I can't make a nature's compass until I get redstone. I also wanted to get a start on Ars Nouveau because I am wanting to, by the end of this episode, obtain the storage lectern. Now, the storage lectern is a very, very useful thing in this series. We don't have refined storage or applied energistics in this yet. So right now, I think the storage lectern is going to be our best case scenario for having a proper storage system and everything. And thankfully, with Create added on, this is Create version 6, so we do have the new storage system that Create added as well. But, I mean, I'm sure everyone has seen already how the Create storage system GUI looks. I'm not a big fan of it, and I'm wanting to try to find a way to link the storage lectern up to that system to see if there's a way to do auto crafting as well, because like you can do the shapeless auto crafting and stuff like that. But I want to see if there's a way that I can do it from this as well. I don't think there will be, but if there is, that would be extremely useful. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That's all going to be things not done this episode. The last thing I want to be done this episode is getting an interior here. I want to have something here other than just a building just for the sake of looking like there's a building here. I want to have a second floor, want to have a place where I can store my stuff, have a bedroom, and a kitchen to work on our culinary stuff. Because we have so many crops already being grown right now, and I'm wanting to get ahead on making food and everything like that. In fact, food is probably the thing that I am lacking in the most right now. I even started a little chicken coop between episodes because I am just running out of food constantly right now. I had to go and slaughter some pigs that were over yonder that way, just in order to have some sort of food system going still. But yeah, it is not looking good. I also want to see, can I craft a rope? Because a rope would be very useful. I need straw though. And straw, I can get it from wild rice. But I don't think I can get wild rice unless with shears. I don't know. Wild rice is also pretty far away from me, so probably will have to wait on that. Although it did say I can get it from a bamboo block. I do have some bamboo growing, so maybe that is the play here. But either way, we need to get started on a mining session. And I'm not a big fan of like off-camera mining and stuff like that. Obviously, I will do that from time to time. But instead, how about we go ahead and have a little mining session where you are just watching me and we have a little talk while I am doing that. Hello and welcome to Mining in Minutes with MrObbymage, the talk show for in moderation. So this is going to be quite a series that's going to be going alongside of in moderation every once in a while whenever I feel that like I want to mine or something like that, which I am a very big fan of mining in Minecraft, believe it or not. I want to like add something to it to where it's not like just me recording for the sake of like, hey guys, I'm not just cheating off camera, you know? So want to do this sort of series where you guys can see, hey, I'm also a human. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's quite important to me, and that is Skade Gaming. Skade Gaming is a Minecraft server, but also not a Minecraft server. It's a gaming community, is what I should classify it as. It is a gaming community for people with autism. Now, Skade Gaming is basically where all of my social interaction takes place online nowadays. It is a very safe community, and I treasure it very much deeply. It is probably the one place that I go to every single day, and I can say with certain that like I love this community. We have a YouTube channel that is just at Skade Gaming on YouTube. We post our podcast there, which is a podcast that I am a host of, called Skater Things. Kind of ripping off of Stranger Things. It wasn't our name who originally created it. It was one of our players named Boomy who created the name for it originally. But Skater Things is a podcast that me and my friends Evan and Blue being one of the founders of Skade, do basically every 2 weeks is when we post them. And we talk about just a wide variety of stuff. We have many guests come on who are members of Skade Gaming as well. And I just really appreciate this. I really appreciate Skade Gaming. I am at a loss for words a lot of the time when trying to figure out how to describe Skade Gaming to people, because it is a very big like anomaly for I think a lot of people being like, you're telling me that there is just this subset of the internet that is like away from the harassment of daily life and stuff like that. And it's just like completely just chill. Yeah. I love Skade Gaming. I really want all of you to check it out if you have not already. If you came here from another section of the internet, whether you are autistic or not, I definitely do recommend checking out Skade Gaming, as it is my preferred community that I just like to chill and hang out with. So if you're autistic and you are searching for like just a group of friends to play games with and stuff like that, please head over to skadegaming.com. They have an application that you can fill out and you can get invited to the Discord server. Definitely heavily recommend it. Thank you. All right, we're back. Now, next thing we need to do before we get started with Ars Nouveau is we need to kill some squid, because we need ink sacs. Why do we need ink sacs? For a book and quill. Why do we need a book and quill? For a bookworm, of course. And this squid is going too far now. And I probably should have crafted like an axe or something before I killed this one. Okay, there we go. But now we have our ink sac that we need in order to make our storage lectern. So the first thing that we are going to need to craft is an imbuement chamber, and we are going to need to make a couple more source gems in order to make everything that we need to. Now, source gems can be made with either lapis or amethyst, and I was really hoping while we were mining earlier if we could find a like geode or something to have a constant amethyst farm, but we couldn't find one, so hopefully I can find one some other time while mining. I know that this area probably has a bunch of caves that I still have not gone into, but for the time being, we got what we need. And now we need to make some more source gems. I don't know. I think I still have 3 source gems somewhere? Yeah. Okay, so that can get us a head start, because we do need to make one of these, an arcane core, which we can do with making some more source stone here. And then it is just arcane core. We need to have an enchanting apparatus, which is also pretty simple. We need to use one of the diamonds that we got. Here we go. And Enchanting apparatus, gold nuggets. That's the other thing. And bloop, there we go. Now, this is what we need in order to start making this stuff to get the storage lectern. Because the storage lectern, you need to place an actual lectern into an enchanting apparatus and use chests around it in order to make the actual block. Luckily, there's a village right over there that has a lectern, which I am probably going to go back to real quick in order to get it. But yeah, that should be most of it. We just have to wait on the source stone in order to get the pedestals, because we need source gems for the pedestals in order to craft that. Crafting another one to speed up the process. All right, and now it is time to craft the pedestals. So we got those. Gotta make a little bit more golden nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4, but we need to make a 5th one because we need to make a ritual brazier. And that is the recipe for a ritual brazier, and now we are good. Except we need more source gems for the next step, which is a tablet of awakening. All right, and I've already placed all the chests that I need. I'm crafting up the last 2 source gems I need right now. So if I just right click on this enchanting apparatus with this lectern, an animation will start to appear, and soon enough we should have our storage lectern. And now the storage lectern is a really useful thing. Just gives you basically the same very RS kind of thing. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's very similar to RS, where you have a crafting grid down here, have a search bar, AE, everything like that. But the one thing is that in order to connect it up to stuff, you need a bookworm, which is what we are crafting right now. Now, with these source gems, we can craft ourselves a tablet of awakening. Except I need a green log specifically for that one. Not too big of a deal. We can just chop one right here. Boop. And let's go ahead and craft this up. Tablet of Awakening. And now, in order to get a bookworm, we just right-click this ritual brazier with this, and then we augment it by right-clicking it again with a book and quill. And that will start it, and then you just right-click it one more time to run the activation, and boom, you got yourself a bookworm charm. Now you can right-click the bookworm onto the storage lectern, and then you can link up stuff with a Dominion one. Wait, a Dominion one? Yep, we have to craft that as well. It is a very easy craft, but just requires more source gems. This is why I wanted to find some sort of geode, because you go through a lot of source gems in this mod. Alright, and now we have our source gems here. This should be as simple as placing these down, placing a gold ingot, and placing a stick in here. No. Got a source gem, you got a gold ingot, you got a stick. Oh, is it because I have Lightmatica installed? Oh, that is unfortunate. I wonder if I can just hopper it in then, because I'm too lazy to go ahead and just go and uninstall Lightmatica real quick. Can I do that? And then do that. There we go. That's what we call pure laziness. Yes, I have Lightmatica installed because, I mean, very frankly, I did use Lightmatica for this build, and it is just a useful tool to have. So now we have a Dominion one, though. And now this Dominion one is going to allow us to register which inventories we want our bookworm to access from. But thinking about it, I think I want to try something. I want to see if this storage lectern can hook up to an item vault. And an item vault does mean dabbling a bit into Create. Not too much, though. Like, we're just going to be getting a mechanical press, hand crank, and that being done and dusted. So let's start by making a andesite alloy. I already crafted one earlier because, as you saw in the beginning, I have a clipboard here. So I made one just for the intro of this video. But we need to craft ourselves a hand crank here. That way we can actually start making the iron sheets. And then we need to make ourselves a andesite casing and a shaft. So shaft is going to require 2 more. andesite alloys, which will be simple enough if I can craft them correctly. There we go. And then this involves right-clicking on it with an andesite alloy. So one more andesite alloy. Go ahead, strip a log, right-click it. There we go. Got our first andesite casing. And then we need a block of iron. Going through a lot of iron right now, but it's going to be all worth it in my opinion. And mechanical press. Beautiful. Now, with the mechanical press, I don't think I need to have it on top of a depot, if I remember correctly. I think I can just have it on something like this, or am I completely wrong in that? Because if I place that there, and I place the hand crank on, it does turn into an iron sheet. Okay, sweet, sweet. That's going to be so much more easy than crafting a depot real quick. So let's go ahead and craft some iron sheets up, because even if we don't use them all right now, we're going to be using them in the future anyway. All right, got all of our iron sheets here. And now I want to see if we can connect this storage lectern to an item vault. And I think we might want to make an item hatch as well. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know how to make an iron trapdoor, apparently. Oh, it's just 4 iron like that. Okay. Item hatch crafted. And now let's craft a bunch of barrels. Barrels done. And then I want to start with just 1 item vault. I think I can start with just 1. Like, I don't need to have a bunch right away. And then if I attach this right here, I don't want to dump my entire inventory in here. Let's go ahead and start with just a few small things. Let's do sticks, that. Yeah. Let's just do that. And I don't think it inserts your inventory or your hotbar. I'm guessing we need more item vaults then. Maybe it needs to be a certain amount in order to get started. Let's go ahead and find out. Let's see if 3 will do our thing that we want to. There we go. And now, if we put stuff away here, items deposited. Okay, sweet, sweet. Now, let's go ahead and get our bookworm charm. Do that. And then we right-click you. Right-click you, right-click you. Hold on. Let's remove everything. Right-click, right-click. Right-click, right-click. That inventory is added. It is moving everything to the item vault right now, I think is what it's doing. Because it sees this as its own other distinct inventory. Let's go ahead and remove you, which kills the bookworm very brutally, but causes that to happen. We can just pick up our bookworm again. And then if I do this, so set our position here. No, set our position, do that. No, it does not. And what about here? There we go. We added the chest inventory, but it seems like we can't add anything to this one, unless if we have to do it from here, maybe? Oh, nope. Now that's deposited. Great. So what happens if I break this? There we go. Gets that back out. And it seems like we're not going to be able to do anything with this for the time being. I guess then we will just use a bunch of double chests for our storage for the time being. I think there will be a way to use the item vault though with this in the future eventually. But for right now, we have at least confirmed that we can get it with the chests. So with that being said, we have our storage lectern, but we don't have anywhere to put it right now. So how about we change that? And done. What, you thought that I was actually going to build all that on camera? Nah, 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 nah. I got things to do today, my dudes. So yeah, anyways though, I have created the interior off camera and I am very excited to show you guys. So once we walk through the door, you'll notice a very small, kind of like dungeon-esque kitchen here. We have our smoker, some furnaces, we have a stovetop from Farmer's Delight, which we also have cooking pot and skillet as well. And I also wanted to fill this up with spruce cabinets and stuff like that. However, I did not have enough spruce yet. We also have my parrot over here. But yeah, eventually this will be all lined with spruce cabinets as well, just as a little bit of a decorative piece. Also got an onion crate here because the onions were the only thing I had enough of to make a crate. Barrels here just for extra storage if I ever need it, as well as the cabinets, I guess. But yeah, very small, quaint kitchen. Probably will be using it somewhat soon here because I'm wanting to get more food for Farmer's Delight and stuff. So yeah, probably be back here down there in a little bit. But up here is where the magic happens. So I have a little elevated shelf here that has my framing saw and stone cutter on it, and an open spot for whatever else I need in the future here. Have my imbuement chambers here and a source jar. This is just for decoration for now. I'll probably remove it once I need to get actual source. But for right now, I thought it was a good centerpiece there. Have all my storage along the wall here. That way it didn't interfere with any of the windows. And have my storage lectern hooked up, so now I can go ahead and search for anything I want. Bed over here with my scribe table and an alteration table over here. Alteration table we're not going to get to for probably a little bit. But the alteration table is what you use to get those, you see where it says empty 1 slots here? They're like extra buffs you can do similar to enchantments for armor and such. Have a little painting on the wall because why not? Scribe table right here, always going to be very useful when unlocking new spells. And yeah, it's a very quaint and very simple, I think, room. And also, yeah, I have the enchanting apparatus on the ceiling. I turned all the pedestals to platforms so that way they would fit on the ceiling. But I think it looked better up there than having to walk around it every time on the floor here. So yeah, I placed it up there for that reason. But yeah, it's a very small, very quaint interior. And I think that is just what I want this base to be. Nothing complex, nothing over extraordinary. It's going to be just small, and it is what it is supposed to be, a starter base. We're not going to be searching for a lot of stuff here, or we're not going to be living here the entirety of the series, you know? This is just going to be a simple, quaint base where I can get my belongings in at the first place. And yeah, I think it's going to be very nice. Now, we have to get some straw here. And if I remember correctly, straw, you chop it with an axe on the cutting board. And that is going to be so useful because I want straw so that way I can go ahead and get myself some rope. Now with rope, you can use it basically for a lot of things. It can be used similar to scaffolding in the sense that you can go ahead and climb up it. But I want to use it for its other feature, which is allowing tomato plants to grow upwards, which I think will be very nice. So yeah, we're going to have these right here, and eventually this tomato vine will grow up onto this rope surrounding it, and yeah, it will just be a very nice, very more tomato out yield from still just one block of space. So yeah, that, oh, well, I'm an idiot. That is going to be all I have time for, though, for today's episode. Thank you all for watching again. And I think we got everything we needed to on our starter list. So first mining session, started Ars Nouveau, obtained a storage lectern, and had our starter house interior done. Seems like we got everything that we wanted to out of this place. So yeah. Without further ado, thank you guys for watching this episode. I know this one was a little shorter of an episode than it has been the past couple episodes, but I think that now that we are getting our bearings, we're going to be cracking this mod pack wide open, and it's going to be extremely fun. So thank you all for joining, and I'll see you all next time.